Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that one of our admin helped us with. The translation reads like this. Hello Brother Nasha, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? Why are you not on TikTok? I came across one of your confession on TikTok and I think about confessing to you. So my confession goes on like this. You can call me Lerato. I am a woman who is aged 29 years old. I really do not know if it was all because of the influence or what. My parents got divorced, and after my parents had gotten divorced, then I started staying with my mom. So my mom had a house which was in town, but this turned out to be more like a drug house which was being used by some Nigerians when they were making their stuff. So that house was then teared to the ground by the city council after it was discovered that this is what the house was being used for. So that is how I came into contact with a lot of Nigerians, which are like many of them that I am friends with, but they have since refused to assist me. This was after I had spoken with one who told me that he had like high spiritual powers. The first thing that he wanted from me was some assistance so that he can get some papers here. Like he wanted me to marry me, and I said no, I cannot do that because I did not want to get committed to someone that I was not in love with. Then he came back with another proposition which I could not even refuse. So this proposition, he came with it almost 3 years ago. That is when I lost my own father. Like I had started hating him. You know, when you see your father staying with another woman after divorcing your mom, like it gives you great pain. It made me to hate him, and I then saw that he was the perfect sacrifice when this man told me that they were in need of a man's spirit that they could use so that they can do some money making rituals. And he said, do you have anyone that you do not like, anyone that you won't even consider as something that is important to you, and even if that person were to die in a violent way, you can still continue with your life without being disturbed? And yes, the man was there. He was my father who had dumped my mom and now was staying with another woman. And that woman, I viewed her as someone who just came, a snake who came and stole from my mother. So that is how I just thought of having my father sacrificed. And at that time, I really did not think much of it. All that I saw was the money, because after I had finished high school, I could not afford to go to university because my NSFAS application had been denied, and every job application that I was sending out was being ignored. I watched as some people that I knew were moving forward whilst I was stuck in the same place, and I hated myself, I hated everything. And that was when I spoke with that guy. So this man, like I told you, informed me about the procedure that was supposed to take place. He would take me to this other house in Braamfontein where we were going to meet another man from his country, and this man was the one who was going to assist me, and money was going to be given to me. My motive, to tell you the truth, that had me agree to have my father killed, it was money. And I was offered money, which I thought was quite a lot at that time, because in my life I had never held like 10k, like I had never. And I used to get your small amounts, maybe your 500, your 1000. Maybe if you're dating a guy, he just give you maybe 700 or something. But I had never had like 10k, like 20k now. It was going to be a lot. What I did not know was that, like, money, you think that if you get this kind of money, it is going to solve each and every problem that you have. But the moment that I got that 20k, I saw that it means nothing. Even when I watch some episodes of I Blew It, I understand those people, because I just spent that 20k in 2 days. It was gone, because as people, we have bills that will be waiting for us. We have things that will be waiting for us to do. And the moment that I was given that 20k in the promise that I was going to sacrifice my own father, I used all of that money such that I started regretting by the time that I was taken back to that house in Braamfontein for me to finish up with the rituals. Because when I was taken there, at that house, it is like a very big mansion. So I was taken at the back of the house and we entered into this other small house, and then I was told to stand in front of the mirror. And when I stood in front of the mirror, I saw my father. He was looking sad and he was quite old in the mirror. And he said, "My daughter, what is it that you want to do?" And I looked at him and I started crying. Those guys said that I was not supposed to cry because if I was going to cry, it was not going to work out. I was then given a candle and I was told that I had to walk, like face the mirror, and tell my father that I had already used up the money that these men whom I was with in that room had given to me, and there was no way that I could ever repay them except for his life. That is what they wanted. They wanted his life. They wanted to create things that they were going to use when doing their money-making rituals and magic. My father cried. I took that candle and I blew it off, and that was when my father closed his eyes and acted as if he was dying, and he faded away into the smoke that started appearing in the mirror. And one of the Nigerian men with his thick accent said, "It is done, it is done." And then he started celebrating, and then they accompanied me out of the room, and then they promised me that they were going to give me another 5k, in which they never gave me. As for that guy that had brought me to that house in Braamfontein, he then skipped the country after he had tried to speak with another woman, wanting that woman to marry him so that he can get an ID. Things got wrong and then he had to run away. I just heard that this man, he is back in his country and he is building big houses there and is driving big cars. And I know that if it is the truth, everything that he told me, he is using my father's spirit. My father's spirit, it is trapped there in a foreign land in Nigeria. My father is not resting. That one I know. Even one of my uncles said that he had a dream. It was my father. It seemed as if my father was lost in a forest that is very far away from home. He was speaking with my uncle saying, "Oh, brother, young brother, why is it that you have not gone to consult so that you can hear what is wrong with me?" I then convinced my mom, saying that you are not supposed to allow yourself to be used by the devil, for it is said that my mother is supposed to be there during the consultation. And I said, "Sangomas, they are of the devil." The reason as to why I said that it is because I am scared if they consult, maybe they'll be told that it was I who sacrificed your own father. For what if my relatives were to ask me, 20k, what is 20k? Oh, I'm such a stupid girl. Dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who helped us with this translation. For 20k, she is saying that she sacrificed your own father. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.